All right, here we are in Salesforce, and our use case is that we need to trigger a flow when a record is undeleted. Now, we know that flow cannot trigger on the undelete action. It can only trigger on create and update and before delete. So we need a little workaround here. So we need an Apex trigger, an Apex class that's going to invoke an auto-launched flow when a record is undeleted or restored from the recycle bin. We're going to vibe code an Apex trigger and Apex class. So we did that in another video. And then in this video, we're going to show you how we're going to use that Apex code to invoke an auto-launched flow. All right, so here's a little overview of what we vibe coded, just to give you a little snapshot. We have an Apex trigger called quote line item trigger. And all this is going to do is just trigger an action on undelete. So whenever a record is undelete, it is going to make the record go into the Apex class. This one right here called quote line item trigger handler. So if we go to that Apex class, or all of the quote line items that are deleted are going to come into this as a batch, and all of the quote line item IDs are going to be added to our input variable called var quote line item IDs in our flow. And it's going to send it to the flow with this API name. So that's literally all this code is doing. Got a trigger that fires on undelete to force it to come into this Apex class. This Apex class is just going to bundle up the quote line item IDs and send it to the flow. Now we have two other Apex classes that we also vibe coded. We have our quote line item trigger handler test. This is just the test class that is providing the code coverage for the trigger handler and the trigger. And then we have a test data factory that is the place where all of our test records are getting created for all of our test classes. That's a little sneak peek into the code that we vibe coded using Agentforce 5. We have the start of an auto-launched flow here set up. So we had to create the flow so that when we ran our tests for our Apex, that it had something to look at. So we just have this fake subflow here, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Our first step is to create a variable that's going to collect all of the quote line item IDs that are passed from the Apex class into our flow. So we've got this var quote line item IDs. We're going to make a text collection, allow multiple values in that collection, and allow it for input. Our Apex class is going to collect all of the quote line item IDs that are undeleted and pass them to this flow for processing. So the whole point of this flow is in support of one of our scenarios that we're solving for in our quote series. We have a process where we're tracking the lost products on a quote so that we know which products don't make it to the final closed won opportunity. One of the scenarios we have to solve for is that if somebody undeletes a quote product, we need to remove the fact that that's a lost product from the tracking. So we have to do a get here, and we're going to get the records in the lost product tracking object related to the quote. And if you don't follow what any of this means, all the links to the videos on quote lost product tracking is below if you're interested in getting an understanding of which products don't make it to the final deal and which ones are removed during negotiations. It's a pretty cool little build. So we're going to look for our quote line item ID. We populate this field whenever we create the lost product tracking record in the first place. We're going to look for that to be in our variable. And we're going to look for all the records that satisfy that criteria. And we're going to choose fields and let Salesforce do the rest. Then we're going to create a decision element here. And we're just going to check to see if any of those lost products exist. So we'll look for our get is null, is false. All right, then if it does find lost quote product tracking records, we need to delete those. So we're just going to do a delete records here. and we're going to delete all the records in this collection. And that's it. So this seems really simple, and it is. So we're handling the logic of how we're querying what records we want to match up and what records we want to delete. And then we're just using the Apex to invoke the action and pass it to our flow. So we'll go ahead and activate this. And now if we go to the front end of Salesforce, we'll start to test this out. So we're going to go to an opportunity, and we'll go to the quote that is syncing to this closed won opportunity. And we see we have 3 lost product tracking records. So if I test this out by deleting website design and development, then I should see website design and development get added as a lost product, which it does. Now, if I go to my recycle bin and undelete it, I should see this lost product tracking record then get deleted. So let's go to our recycle bin. And I'm looking for this quote line item right here. I'm going to restore that. And then I see a lost product tracking record gets deleted. So I'm pretty sure that this worked. So we can see that our quote line item is back, and then we can see our lost product tracking record did indeed get deleted. So all of our code and all of our flow actions are working perfectly. So let's go ahead and go into setup, and we're going to do some final testing and get this ready to deploy to production. So we're going to go to our change sets. We're going to click outbound change sets. You're going to create a new change set. We usually name it by case numbers or whatever ticket number that we're satisfying. So you can just do whatever ticket number it is, undelete, actions to invoke flow. And then we're going to add all of our components here. And we're also going to run a final test on our test class. We've got our test data factory, our 2 quote line item Apex classes, and then we've got an Apex trigger and a flow. Seems like a lot of different things, doesn't it, for something so simple? Okay, and then we'll do a flow. We could have put all of the actions into our Apex and skipped the flow, but that's kind of not the point of what we were doing. We're trying to limit the Apex that we're writing and let flow handle all of the complex actions because that's what we're more comfortable working in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the quote line item trigger handler test, and I'm going to run one last test with this flow in its final state, because it's kind of not a real test if you run the test when the flow is not final and you're still making changes to the flow. So we'll click run test here. We're not going into Agentforce vibes here because we don't need to. We can stay in the standard Salesforce screens. We could also run this in the developer console if we chose to. If we start to have to debug things, we may hop over there, but we'll see. Yay, it's like nerve-wracking waiting for your code coverage to pass. Okay, so that worked perfectly. So now we're ready to upload this to production. Well, actually, let's run one more test here. Let's make sure our trigger has code coverage. Okay, it says 100% code coverage, so we are good here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and upload this to production. I went to inbound change sets underneath setup, and we're gonna go ahead and deploy and click deploy. We'll look at the deployment status here, and then we'll cross our fingers that all of this is green and that everything gets deployed successfully. All right, that's amazing. So all of these items got deployed into our org, and we are all set to go. Now we can run some tests in production and confirm everything's working. All right, nice job. That's it, that's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss our next video, where we'll show you our favorite way to send emails from Salesforce Flow. There are a lot of different ways to send email from a flow, and it's not always obvious which one to choose. We'll walk through how to choose the option that's easiest to manage long-term, especially when your use case involves templates or recipient lists that change quite often. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you'd like to see a video on a different Salesforce topic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.